We actually have some of these in our vivariums. So let's walk over there, take a look at the vivariums. I'll give you an idea on how we attach them to the vivariums and how you might do it at home in either a vivarium or habitat that you have. So let's go take a look. Hi, I'm Kim from the Tye-Dyed plant team, and today we're going to be talking about one of our more fun plants that we have here at the shop. It's an air plant. They come in a variety of sizes, and they're a little bit unique because as we talk about our plants during the week, we talk about what kind of light they need, what kind of watering they need, and what kind of soil they need. And an air plant is an epiphyte. It doesn't need soil, but it actually attaches itself to some other kind of plant. You'll usually see it in the crooks of a branch or a tree. Further south you get in the country, the more prolific you will see the air plants, especially when you get in areas around Florida. They can be relatively small, and these are just nice and fluffy. I just really like the small ones, but they also can get relatively large, as we see with this xerographica. And they can get much larger than this. This is just a sampling of some of the ones that we have. Obviously in the store we can't get the real big ones, but some of these air plants can get to be several feet apart. Again, they don't use soil, they attach themselves to another living organism, and when they come off, you can see, especially on this large one, there's a little stem point on the back side that you can use this for affixing to a branch or somewhere in a vivarium or a terrarium that you have at home. The smaller they are, obviously the smaller the attachment points are, and they're sometimes a little bit hard to find. But it's a great fun plant to take up some space in your vivarium that you might not have with anything else. Here's another good attachment point as well. Don't worry about the rubber bands. We just use those in our sales team for price points. Indirect sunlight, they're actually shade lovers. They can do a little bit of sun, but really their indirect sun is best for them. And in terms of watering, this varies depending upon how you're going to display them. Some folks will have a larger air plant and they'll just put this on a tray somewhere, and that's fine. But the best way to do that, if you're not going to have it attached to something, is to take it once a week and just put it in a bucket, whatever the appropriate size bucket is, or a jar, and soak it for about 20 to 30 minutes. Best to use RO water. Doesn't really need anything in the way of fertilization, but a good soaking for about 20 to 30 minutes per week, and then you can go back and display it. Now, a little bit differently, if you happen to have it attached to a branch or a background or some other area, obviously you're not going to be able to pull it off and go ahead and soak it. So misting. Now misting, if you're going to do that, probably 3 to 4 times a week, and you'll be able to tell what's right. If the leaves are nice and green and soft and flexible, you're doing it okay. If they start to wither a little bit, then you got to increase the amount of watering. And sometimes on the bottoms of them, these will start to peel off and they look like they're rotting, and actually they are rotting. So if you're watering too much, you're going to have some problems along the line with that. We actually have some of these in our vivariums. So let's walk over there, take a look at the vivariums. I'll give you an idea on how we attach them to the vivariums and how you might do it at home in either a vivarium or habitat that you have. So let's go take a look. So here we have one of our mid-sized vivariums, and you can see in the back we have an air plant that is attached actually to a piece of cork. So you can be very creative in the way you do that. If you don't have a piece of cork, or you're working maybe off of a flat background, what you can do is just, if you have a small piece of cork or a small piece of bark, you can take that with a good old glue gun, put a little bit of glue on the base of your cork, and then go ahead and just attach that to a background. And now you've got yourself a little cup, and you can go ahead and put your air plant right in that cup. Sometimes if you're working against something flat, you just can't get a good attachment for your air plant, and you really don't want to be digging anything out. So you just go ahead and make yourself your own little platform. One thing important to know is that when you're using your glue gun, once you go ahead and put some glue down there on that little platform, give it 15 to 30 seconds to cool down a little bit. When it comes out, it's really, really hot. And if you get any of that on your fingertips, you're going to notice that right away. So you don't want to take your air plant and just stick it right in really, really, really hot glue. not good for the air plant. So give it a few seconds, like I said, about 30 seconds to cool off. It's not going to dry, it's not going to get hard on you, that is the glue, and then go ahead and you can affix your air plant as you might like to. But they really do add a lot to the backgrounds that you have, or if you have, like I said, a little nook or cranny and you're just looking to add something in there that's a little bit of interest, it's okay to go ahead and do that. I will tell you that air plants are not necessarily for the beginner. There's a little bit of work that goes with them. Some folks can get frustrated because they'll not water enough, they'll not get enough light, they'll die on them. If that should be the case, another option that you might have here at Tye-Dye is plastic. And while this one is already on a rock, I mean, you could certainly set it someplace and it would look just right. And if that rock gets in your way, just take yourself a good scissors or a clipper, clip that puppy off and go ahead and assume that it's a real live one. Go ahead and set it up and it will look just grand. So whether you're into the plastics or the real thing, our plant of the week here at Tye-Dyed Iguana is the air plant.